Hey guys, Tom here, and today I'm bringing you my review for the WWE Roadblock special event on the WWE Network. So I didn't stay up to watch this at 1 AM in the morning. I would have if it was a pay-per-view. I watched it a few hours later, and to be honest, I was pretty disappointed. I wasn't really looking forward to Roadblock that much. I thought the card was very, very predictable, and it turned out to be very, very, very predictable because every single match I knew the result before it even happened. So what did I think of the Roadblock pay-per-view? I thought it was okay. I thought it was cool that we got a free event for free. But honestly, I think the Roadblock has been a bit of an inconvenience. We're 3 weeks away from WrestleMania. The build so far hasn't been that great, and Roadblock, it literally has been a roadblock. It's been smack bang in the middle. It's been in the way. WrestleMania, it's the biggest event of the year for the WWE, and this Roadblock event it just felt like it's been in the way. It's halted any kind of momentum or build going into WrestleMania. And at the end of the day, the WrestleMania card looks exactly the same as it did before this event. They said, oh, the complexion of WrestleMania is going to change at Roadblock. And it didn't, because the exact same card is the exact same card. It looks exactly the bloody same as it did before the Roadblock pay-per-view. But anyway, some of it was entertaining and some of it was very, very boring. So the show kicked off with Big E and Kofi Kingston defeating Sheamus and King Barrett. So it was the New Day against the League of Nations. For some reason, only half of the League of Nations were there, which was pretty disappointing. I mean, you can't say the League of Nations are on this event when only half of them turn up. But, as predicted, the New Day won. They are absolutely incredible. Great way to start the show by having the New Day cut an absolutely hilarious promo about some Bootio cereals. Bloody brilliant. This match, honestly, we've seen it all before, but I actually thought it was quite entertaining. It was one of the better matches of the night, so I was really happy with this match. It was entertaining, fast-paced. King Barrett and Sheamus, they were pretty good, and I actually quite enjoyed this match. The New Day, they're always entertaining, so I thought this was a great way to start off the event. The New Day retain, which is great. There's no reason to put it on the League of Nations. The League of Nations suck in comparison to the New Day. Everybody loves the New Day, so it's great that they retain the titles, and hopefully Enzo and Cass can come up to the WWE and face them at WrestleMania. I think that'd be great. We then got Chris Jericho cutting a heel promo before his match with Jack Swagger. I wasn't really a fan of this promo. It just felt a bit forced, a bit fake. I don't know what it was. It was maybe the fact that Chris Jericho's been a babyface for a while and he's trying to convince us he's now a heel. It just didn't click. It didn't feel right. He was like, I'm embarrassed of Canada. Every Canadian's an idiot, even though he's Canadian. It just didn't feel right. It didn't work for me. And then he kind of squeezed a little bit of a Jack Swagger mention into it, which kind of felt a bit out of place. And then apparently Jack Swagger is now facing Chris Jericho. So this match, it was okay. It was a little bit boring. We haven't seen Jack Swagger for a while, so why should we care about this match? Chris Jericho obviously defeats Jack Swagger. He's just turned heel. It makes sense for him to go over. He's cementing his new gimmick as a heel. It makes sense for him to go over Jack Swagger, but we haven't seen Swagger for a while. He's boring as well. Why should we care about this match? We shouldn't. It wasn't that entertaining. It was okay, but Jericho going over is fine and dandy. But at the end of the day, the promo kind of sucked and it was pretty meaningless. The next match, which was pretty predictable as well, the Revival defeated Enzo Amore and Colin Cassidy. So, yeah, this was pretty predictable because everybody's predicting Enzo and Cass are going up to the main roster, so it doesn't make sense for them to win the tag team belt or the NXT tag team belts on tonight's Roadblock event. The match itself was pretty good, but we've seen it all before, so it wasn't anything that special. I really liked the finish. That was crazy. And also with the Revival hitting their finisher on the outside. That was ridiculous. The crowd popped for that. Awesome match. Got plenty of time. Pretty decent. Fast-paced. Enzo looks like a beast as always. He is absolutely fantastic. He can do absolutely anything. And the funny thing about this match was when Big Cass was using Enzo and he was throwing his tag team partner into the Revival. That was absolutely great. Anyway, it makes sense for the Revival to win here. Everybody wants to see Enzo and Cass on the main roster, so if we have to see the Revival beat Enzo and Cass so we can get them on the main roster, that's fine by me. Next match, which was the Divas Champion Charlotte defeating Natalya. Now, this match, didn't make much sense. We all knew Charlotte was going to win because she's facing Sasha and Becky at WrestleMania, so this is really predictable. Went on for a while. It was an okay Divas match, probably one of the better Divas matches of the year, but we barely see Natalya on TV, so are we supposed to believe that she's going to win here? Charlotte's facing Becky and Sasha at WrestleMania, so yeah, of course she's going to retain. The match itself was decent for a Divas match. Yeah, it was one of the better Divas matches we'll see all year, but at the end of the day, it's obvious Charlotte's going to retain, and it wasn't anything too impressive. Next match was Brock Lesnar defeating Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper in a 2-on-1 handicap match. I thought it was Lesnar against Bray Wyatt. It got made into Brock Lesnar against Luke Harper, with Bray Wyatt not bothering to get in the match. But this match was pretty freaking decent. I mean, Luke Harper gave everything he could to Brock Lesnar, and Brock Lesnar, in the end, F5'd him and beat Luke Harper. It was a nice short match. It was about 5 minutes, but it doesn't really matter. We didn't think we'd get much from Brock Lesnar. They're only going to use Brock Lesnar properly at your WrestleManias and your SummerSlams, so it was only a 5-minute stunt from Brock Lesnar here. Wasn't too shabby. I quite liked it. Luke Harper and Brock Lesnar had some sort of chemistry in the ring. Brock Lesnar looked like an absolute beast. He looked great in this match, especially when he ducked onto Luke Harper at one point and hit a German suplex on him. So many suplexes in this match. But they did advertise it was going to be Bray Wyatt against Brock Lesnar, so the fact that we didn't actually see Bray Wyatt in the ring against Brock Lesnar is pretty disappointing, considering they advertised it and we don't actually get to see Bray Wyatt against Brock Lesnar. Bray Wyatt's the leader of the Wyatt family. We wanted to see Bray Wyatt against Brock Lesnar because that's the feud. So getting Luke Harper against Brock Lesnar instead is pretty disappointing. But the match itself was good, but it's just boring if you don't get the guy that the feud is about, Bray Wyatt, in the ring. That made no sense. Anyway, the next match, which was Sami Zayn defeating Stardust. This match was given way too much time. It went on for about 10, felt like 15 to 20 minutes. It wasn't, but it was so boring. Nothing much happened. It was great to see Sami Zayn in the WWE, but it was just given way too much time. Stardust, please go back to Cody Rhodes. Everybody is bored of this gimmick at this point. It's not interesting. It's not entertaining. It's bordering on stupid. He never wins. Go back to Cody Rhodes, but it's great that Sami Zayn goes over here. Obviously, he's just come up to the main roster, so giving him momentum early on in his debut on the main roster makes sense. So he goes over Stardust, who, of course, is a former champion in the WWE, but the match itself was boring. It wasn't that great. It's cool to see Sami Zayn win with the Blue Thunder Bomb, but yeah, this match was given way too much time. The next match was the main event. This was pretty much why we watched the Roadblock pay-per-view. It was Triple H defeating Dean Ambrose for the WWE World Heavyweight Championship. I'm not sure why people thought Dean Ambrose was winning here, because that would completely ruin the whole point of WrestleMania. It's Roman against Triple H at WrestleMania. It doesn't make sense to put the belt on Dean Ambrose. That would just confuse things. I even tweeted out on Twitter that I'd cut my dick off if Dean Ambrose won the world title tonight. It got so many retweets and favourites. Goran Perkins retweeted it as well, which got more exposure. But at the end of the day, I never thought Dean Ambrose was winning here, so I thought the main event was probably the most predictable match on the pay-per-view. Triple H obviously was winning here. He's facing Reigns at the WrestleMania pay-per-view. But now, after the match, I'm thinking maybe Ambrose, he's going to get added in to the main event of WrestleMania, which I don't mind, because this match was great, really good. They gave it plenty of time, and it delivered. It was great. The best thing about this match was when Dean Ambrose was going on the floor. That was bloody brilliant. Yeah, the match was great. I wasn't really a fan of the ending. Dean Ambrose hits the dirty deeds, and then apparently his legs are under the ropes. So the referee counted 3, but apparently that's not legal. So the match carried on. I mean, I thought that was kind of retarded. I don't think they really needed to do that. So Triple H won with the pedigree as Dean Ambrose was getting in the ring. So Dean Ambrose was kind of distracted whilst he was getting in the ring, and it made for an easy win for Triple H, because all he did was hit the pedigree. I think what they're going to do with the false ending, they're going to use that as an excuse to put Dean Ambrose in the main event of WrestleMania, which I'm fine with, because it begs the question, whilst we were watching this match, it was really good, it was entertaining, it was great, this is what people want to see, so why didn't they do that as the main event of WrestleMania? They're forcing people to like Roman Reigns against Triple H, but everybody loves this. Why didn't they just make this the main event of WrestleMania? So if Dean Ambrose is in the main event of WrestleMania alongside Triple H and Roman Reigns, it might save the pay-per-view. Who knows? I think this match was all done to set up the triple threat match in the main event of WrestleMania. It feels like that with the false ending, so we'll see how that transpires on Monday Night Raw. I'm guessing Ambrose is going to get added into the main event tomorrow on Monday Night Raw, but at the end of the day, this was a glorified house show. It wasn't anything too fantastic. I mean, whenever I go to a house show, you can predict every single match. Like, you know who's going to win. It's obvious. Unless you're like a 10-year-old kid who still thinks wrestling's real, yeah, it's pretty obvious who's winning. So I knew the New Day were going to win. I knew Chris Jericho was going to win. I knew the Revival were going to win. I knew Charlotte was going to win. I knew Brock Lesnar was going to win. It was obvious that Brock Lesnar was going to win. Bray Wyatt, they just dropped the ball on him every single time. Now, I understand Bray Wyatt didn't take the loss here. His friend Luke Harper took the loss. But it's still the faction as the Wyatt family as a whole. They could be doing a hell of a lot better. They could be dominating the WWE. And apart from that, they're doing absolutely nothing. So Brock Lesnar, he defeated the Streak. He hasn't been pinned since he defeated the Streak. So it didn't make sense for him to lose to Bray Wyatt on a bloody house show. Anyway, I knew Sami Zayn was going to win. And I knew Triple H was going to win. So this was too predictable. Some of it was good. The New Day's match was great. The Divas match was acceptable. Brock Lesnar against Bray Wyatt and Luke Harper. Brock Lesnar against Luke Harper was great. And the Triple H and Ambrose match was great. But apart from that, some of it was pretty boring. So yeah, I'm going to give this Roadblock pay-per-view, not pay-per-view, special event, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. So maybe they'll do it next year. It just feels like a bit of an inconvenience to me when you've got WrestleMania 3 weeks away. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Feels like this house show was all just to set up Dean Ambrose in the main event of WrestleMania. We'll see how that one goes down. Take care. Spike your hair.